Hello everyone. The topic for today's discussion is plant virus nomenclature and classification. We will discuss the latest classification available for plant viruses in this lecture. Nomenclature is not a new thing to plant viruses. The first attempt to name a plant virus was made by Adolf Meyer when he described and discovered tobacco mosaic virus. He gave the name mosaic, okay, tobacco mosaic disease. Now, this naming was first recognized by the symptoms produced in the plant. So, a virus causing mosaic disease or mosaic type of symptom, mosaic means patches of light and dark green areas in the leaf. So, when the mosaic symptom was observed in tobacco leaves, the disease was called as tobacco mosaic disease. And when curly top symptom was observed in beet, it was named as beet curly top disease. So the idea of virus was not there at that time. So the disease was named like tobacco mosaic disease, beet curly top disease. So basically the first attempt to name the disease was on the basis of the host and the symptom produced in the host. Then in the year 1927, James Johnson, he proposed that virus name, plant virus name should be given after the common name of the host in which it was initially found and be given a distinguishing number to denote serial order in which it was described on that host. Say, tobacco mosaic virus became tobacco virus 1 because it is the first virus described from tobacco plant. So, tobacco mosaic virus, this name was proposed to be changed to tobacco virus 1. So symptom is omitted from his proposal. Okay, so name of the host, then serial number. So the second virus would be named as tobacco virus 2, tobacco virus 3 for the third one, and so on. Now Smith 1937, he modified Johnson's system by replacing the common name of the host by its Latin generic name, Latin genus name. Tobacco virus 1, which was the proposal given by James Johnson, so it was modified to Nicotiana virus 1. It is just changing the common name of the host by the genus name, Latin genus name. We know that genus and species names are always in Latin. So tobacco virus 1 became Nicotiana virus 1. Now earlier, Smith 1931, the names were given using the letter codes like X, Y, A, etc. Now many potato viruses were named like potato virus X, potato virus Y, A, S, and so on. Now these names are still persisting in our classification, in our latest nomenclature and classification of plant viruses. Now the attempt to name virus scientifically by Latin binomial system, all organisms are given Latin binomial name. We call it as scientific name. Be it a plant, a fungus, a bacterium, an animal, we see that there is scientific name. So an attempt was also made to give scientific name to virus. It was made in the year 1939. 1939 means we got the first photo micrograph of tobacco mosaic virus by that time. and the idea of virus was already there in the mind of the researchers. So they tried to give a scientific name to viruses. Holmes, 1939, he named genera of viruses on the basis of symptom. Since Latin binomial system has genus and species, so for a virus, what should be the genus and what should be the species name? So according to Holmes in 1939, the genus name will be given on the basis of symptom, and the species name will be given on the basis of the host. So here also see the uh, first nomenclatural attempt where the host name and symptom were used to give name, like tobacco mosaic. Okay, host name and symptom name. Now these same things were given in a modified way to give a scientific name or Latin binomial name. So tobacco mosaic virus was called as Marmor tabaci. Marmor is the Latin word for symptom, mosaic, and tabaci refers to the tobacco plant. So Marmor is the genus, tabaci is the species. So this genus species combination was given for the virus called tobacco mosaic virus. Then more attempts to give scientific names to viruses. Hansen in 1956, he introduced more descriptive names. So potato virus X, which was there already in practice, this name was replaced by Minflexus solani. So it is more descriptive. It is not simply symptom and the host. Here in Minflexus solani, which is referring to potato virus X, M denotes mechanical transmission. In denotes virus without any vector, arthropod vector, and flexus denotes type of particle, flexuous particle. We know that potato virus X has helical shape. It is flexuous in nature. So in the genus name itself, Minflexus, we get three properties: mechanical transmission, no arthropod vector, and the flexuous type of particle. So it is more descriptive. Okay, so it is in fact the first attempt to name and classify plant viruses based on their properties. Though this system of naming was not accepted, but importance here is on the use of properties to name a plant virus. Now all these attempts to name plant virus, be it by using alphabets, numericals, or by giving Latin binomial, they added to the complexity and confusion. Okay, now the plant virologists, they prefer to stick to the common names or vernacular names like tobacco mosaic virus. So this was the earliest attempt to name plant virus, and this was found to be convenient, and so the plant virologists around the world, they accepted the vernacular or common names. Tobacco mosaic virus internationally accepted as tobacco mosaic virus. Still there were attempts like in 1966, Gibbs et al. They tried to give more meaningful name to the vernacular names. So they did not replace the vernacular or common names, but they added more information to the common names or vernacular names. And what they called it as cryptogram, coded information. Okay, so these cryptograms were added to the common names of the virus. These cryptograms composed of coded data on the properties of the virus. And this cryptogram is a two-part system in which the first part is the common name. Say in this example here, tobacco mosaic virus, we know it, this is the common name or vernacular name. Now this virus has some properties. Some of the properties are described here in the form of codes. So we have four pairs of symbols like R by 1, 2 by 5, E by E, S by O, and all the meanings are given here. What is the meaning of the numerator and denominator of the first pair, second pair, third pair, fourth pair? So these are all given here. Now to name a virus with cryptograms, it is essential that the properties are all listed first. So once the properties are obtained, then we can give cryptograms. But again, when we have tobacco mosaic virus name already established and accepted, why should we remember all the codes? And it is not possible to remember all the codes of plant viruses. Okay, now we have more than 1500 plant viruses known till date. Now it is quite confusing to remember. It is not possible to remember all the codes of plant viruses. So it is always convenient to have the common names. Now presently vernacular or common names have received wide acceptance because of convenience. So that was the nomenclature part where we have seen various types of attempts, right from giving common names or vernacular names on the basis of host name and symptoms on the host. Then we have seen different numericals and then alphabets, then attempts to give scientific names, Latin binomial names, descriptive names. Now these all attempts are of historical importance. Finally, we all go back to the earliest attempts of nomenclature. Now we accept common names or vernacular names as the internationally recognized names of plant viruses. Then coming to classification. Classification of plant viruses. How plant viruses are classified. More than 1500 plant viruses are known till date, and no classification system is ideal yet to map perfectly the diversity which occurs in the nature, and there is enormous level of variation in viruses, and there is no sharp cut border lines between viruses. Okay, so these are some difficulties of classifying plant viruses. Now classification or grouping was done on the basis of types of nucleic acid, on the basis of shape of the particle, on the basis of size of the particle, and the many other properties of plant viruses. So this grouping was done long back. So according to these, we have elongated helical or single-stranded RNA virus. This is a group. Under that we have rigid rod and then flexuous monopartite particles. Under rigid rod we have monopartite and multipartite particles. So under rigid rod monopartite we have tobacco mosaic viruses, tobamo viruses. And the figures in the parenthesis reflect the size of the particle. 300 nanometer is the length, 18 nanometer is the width. For multipartite viruses, where we have more than one particles, we have Hordai viruses, Tobra viruses, and we have the sizes given in the parenthesis. Then flexuous, like Potex virus, we get the size also here, Poti virus, cluster virus, Carla virus. So these cluster viruses are quite big in size. So Potex, Poti, these names on the basis of alphabets X, Y, A. These names still exist, as I said earlier. Then next grouping is isometric viruses with single stranded RNA. We have monopartite, one particle only. So these are isometric particles with one particle. We have single stranded RNA inside. We have Tymovirus, turnip yellow mosaic virus, Tombus virus, tomato bushy stunt virus, Sobemo virus, tobacco necrosis virus, luteovirus, and so on. Then we have multipartite viruses. We have more than one particles constituting one virus. Then comovirus, nepovirus, cucumovirus, Ilhar virus. So these are the diameters, okay, in the parenthesis. Then with envelope, tomato spotted wool virus. Then double-stranded RNA virus. They are reoviruses. Phytoreovirus, Fiji virus. These are the diameters. Single-stranded DNA virus, Gemini virus. Double-stranded DNA virus, Colimovirus. You know many of these examples we have discussed earlier in the previous lectures. Then bacilliform or bullet-shaped virus without envelope, alfalfa mosaic virus, with envelope, rhabdovirus. So this is bullet-shaped or bacilliform virus. Now we have seen the grouping of plant viruses. In early plant virology, viruses were simply grouped on the basis of symptom. So all mosaic symptom causing viruses were grouped together. Say mosaic viruses, they were named mosaic viruses, Eolos viruses, and so on. And grouping was also done on the basis of the crop infected, like legume viruses, tobacco viruses, potato viruses. And this classification or grouping was mainly concentrating on the naming of the virus rather than real classification of the virus. James Johnson in 1927 first included physico-chemical properties for classification and recognition of plant viruses. In 1959, Brandes and Whiter proposed a system of classification based on particle morphology and size, and also serological affinities, like tobacco rattle virus group. Now we call it as TOBRA virus. Tobacco mosaic virus group. Now we call it as Tobamo virus. Potato virus X group, S group, Y group, and so on. Now this grouping was based on particle morphology, size, and also the serological properties. Now when this grouping was done, they found that the members within a group had some common biological properties like vector specificity or maybe ecological specifications. Now with the growing emphasis on the intrinsic properties of virus, on the physico-chemical properties of the virus, many viruses in fact, not only plant but animal viruses also. When we have large volume of information on virus properties, the virus taxonomy developed into a universal system that covers all viruses. Now we have around 6,500 viruses altogether affecting plants, fungi, algae, bacteria, insects, higher animals. Okay. ICTV. ICTV is the international body. It stands for International Committee on Taxonomy of Virus. It was initially named as International Committee on Nomenclature of Virus, that established in 1966. So nomenclature was given the priority to the name of the international body. We know in the taxonomy, nomenclature is just one component. Other components are classification and identification. So classification, identification, and nomenclature together they constitute taxonomy. So now In 1973, the name of the body was given as ICTV. This body, ICTV, it has plant virus subcommittee, because we know the viruses affect many organisms: plant, animal, fungi, bacteria, animals, insects. So this ICTV has many subcommittees. One such subcommittee, plant virus subcommittee, deals with plant viruses. Okay. Now this international body is responsible for the taxonomic treatment of all viruses. It gave first report in the year 1971, and its latest report, 10th report, came in 2017. We get all the reports in the website. Website is given here. You can refer to the website. So far we have many taxonomic ranks for plant virus classification, like we have orders, families, genera, species. Even viroids are also classified by ICTV. Now there are many properties, virion properties, which are used for grouping of viruses, like nature of the genome, strandedness of the genome, facility for reverse transcriptase, whether reverse transcription enzyme is there in the viruses. In Colimoviridae family we have reverse transcriptase. Then polarity of the genome, plus sense or minus sense, particle morphology and size, presence or absence of envelope, number of virion types, is it monopartite or multipartite, the number of genome segments, is it undivided genome or split genome, and very importantly the nucleotide sequence, genome organization, replication strategy. Now these molecular criteria in the last part are now the main focus to give taxonomic ranks to treat a virus for its proper taxonomy. Now at present the virus taxonomy that we have, it is a modified binomial system. There is a widely accepted virus taxonomy in place where the virus name is actually a modified binomial. It is not Latin binomial. We'll see here how the names are given for plant viruses or other viruses. Now this taxonomy, modern taxonomy, depends on particle properties, nucleic acid properties, especially sequence of nucleic acids. Currently we have taxonomic ranks like order in virus classification, order, family, genus and species. These are the taxonomic ranks which were not even thought of in the early days of virus taxonomy. Now we have all these taxonomic ranks like any other organism. We have genus name ending in the suffix virus like tobamovirus, bromovirus, comovirus. So virus is the suffix in the genus name. Species is usually the commonly used virus name or the vernacular names. And the species name is written in italicized form. Say Brome mosaic virus. This is a species. And the genus name is Bromovirus. Similarly, tobacco mosaic virus is a species and the genus name will be Tobamovirus. So in each genus there may be one or more species. Potato virus Y is a species name. Potty virus is a genus name. Cowpea mosaic virus is a species name. Como virus is a genus name. Okay. Now small genome size, gene shuffling, all these things make broad taxonomic schemes very difficult above family level, but still we have some orders above family level for plant viruses. Some virus groups, families like Bunyaviridae, Rheoviridae, Rhabdoviridae, these virus groups have both plant and animal infecting viruses. But none of these viruses infect both plant and animals. In the beginning, we said that virus classification is universal. All viruses are considered together for classification. So there are some families where we have viruses infecting plant and also we have viruses infecting animal. Now most of the groups that we saw in the earlier attempts to classify plant viruses are now recognized by ICTB, and these groups are genera like potyvirus, tobamovirus, potex virus, comovirus. So this grouping was done earlier. Now these group names are converted to genus names, and these are recognized by ICTB. And the individual viruses are called as species. The vernacular names are the species names. Now, this present system of virus classification is far from the natural system in the sense of descent, in the sense of phylogeny and evolution. So, what grouping, what classification we accepted so far for viruses or plant viruses is not a natural classification. This classification does not reflect the phylogeny. It does not reflect the ancestor and progeny relationship. It does not give any information about evolution like any other classification. These days, all classification of other organisms are based on phylogeny. These are all phylogenetic classification. Okay, there is evolutionary relationship. When you see a classification of say bacteria or say fungi, especially you remember how fungi are classified, how many groups of so-called fungi were removed from the true fungi kingdom. Oomycetes were removed from true fungi kingdom. Now, why all these changes are being made? Because when evolutionary trees are drawn, when phylogenetic relationships are drawn, the researchers find that they should be grouped, the organism should be grouped based on the ancestors, common ancestors. So, in virus classification, this thing is not there. Phylogeny is not there. Evolutionary link cannot be established. Which virus came first, which virus came next, and from where other viruses came, there is no information about it. So the present system of virus classification is not a natural classification. So virus classification, it remains a matter of categorization rather than hierarchical or phylogenetic arrangement. And the current tendency overemphasizes the physicochemistry or physicochemical properties, especially the molecular level properties. Then comes species concept. The concept of species in case of virus is entirely different. In other organisms, a species means a group of individuals where there is no mating barrier. But in case of virus, which is not organism, the concept of species is applied differently. In 1989, Van Regenmortel defined a species of virus. According to him, a viral species is a polythetic class of viruses that constitutes a replicating lineage and occupies a particular ecological niche. it is a polythetic class. That means in a species we have many replicating lineages where they share a number of characteristics which occur commonly in the members of a group. So polythetic means here we have more than one characteristic in common, whereas monothetic means we have one characteristic in common. However, this definition of species in case of virus is accepted by ICTV. Now we are going to see the latest status of virus taxonomic ranks. According to the 2018 report of ICTV, we get to see 6 orders which have been named. There are 2 orders which comprise of single stranded RNA plus sense single stranded RNA, picornavirals, thymovirals. The negative sense single stranded RNA have been kept in 3 orders: serpentovirals, mononegavirals, bunniavirals. And for double stranded DNA viruses, one order has been identified, named, and it is ortovirals. So we have no order name for single stranded DNA virus here. We have no order name for double stranded RNA viruses as well. So the taxonomic ranks are evolving, are developing. The taxonomy of plant viruses has not been concretized. It is developing. So more changes are expected in the coming years. So now we have seen there are 6 orders. There may be more number of orders. There may be rearrangement of orders and names of the orders. These are quite expected. However, we have 26 families of plant viruses already identified and named, 118 genera. Many genera have been created. Then we have more than 1500 species of plant viruses. So these are all plant virus taxonomic ranks. We also have 32 number of viroids kept under 2 families and 8 genera. So viroids are also named by ICTV. Viroids are also given taxonomic treatments in line with the viruses by ICTV. Orthography. What is orthography? Orthography refers to the writing style, how the virus name is written. You might have followed so far how the names have been written for plant viruses. Say tobacco mosaic virus. Here the name is italicized. So this is the right way to name, to write the name of a plant virus, where first letter will be capital. Tobacco, T will be capital, and remaining all others letters will be small letter, and the whole name will be italicized. Similarly, beet curly top virus, B capital and all small letter, and the whole name is italicized. Then see here, tomato yellow leaf curl New Delhi virus. First letter is capital, and we have New Delhi. It is a proper noun, N capital and D capital. Otherwise, all others are small letters and the whole name is italicized. So this is how the virus names are written. These are the species names. Okay, tobacco mosaic virus, beet curly top virus. So you can take examples of many viruses here. We will see a detail of the virus names here. So according to the latest classification of plant viruses, we have 6 orders and many families, many genera, many species. So all the taxonomic ranks, see here, all the taxonomic ranks are italicized, and this is true for other binomial classifications also. Order names, family name, genus name, species name, all are italicized. So we can go through this latest plant virus classification. I will not read all the names here. You just look at the classification. For single-stranded plus sense RNA viruses, we have some orders. There are many families for which no order name has been given, unassigned. Okay. Then it continues, plus sense single-stranded RNA. We know that this plus sense single-stranded RNA is the genome for most of the plant viruses. So we have many families here, including covering the plus sense single-stranded RNA viruses. So we have families like this for which no order name has been given. However, this is a group, Potiviridae group, say we have some genera. In fact, all the genera names have not been given here in the slide. Otherwise, this classification would be very big to see. I have only selectively presented some families and some genera and some species, not all, just to give you an experience how the latest classification of plant virus is. Okay, we have Tobamo virus here, belonging to family Virgaviridae. Virgaviridae is a new name of family and no order has been assigned, and we have a good number of genera: Hordi, Pomo, Tobra, Tobamo. So Tobamo virus is the genus and the species name tobacco mosaic virus. Though Tobamo virus or tobacco mosaic virus is the first described and discovered plant virus, but still, being the most described plant virus, it has no order to be named yet. For -10 single-stranded RNA, we have some orders here. For ambisense single-stranded RNA viruses, we have one order, family here, Tospoviridae, and genus Orthotospovirus. The genus name was earlier called as Tospovirus, simply Tospovirus. But now, see, the genus name has changed to Orthotospovirus. However, the species name remains as tomato spotted wilt Tospovirus. Then for double-stranded RNA viruses, no order name, but family is Rheoviridae, identified already. Genera, these are the genera. For plus sense single-stranded DNA viruses, no order name, but family is there, Nanoviridae. Hopefully in future, for all the unassigned order names, there will be names given and more rearrangement of these taxonomic ranks are expected in the coming years. So Babu virus is here, banana bunch top virus, nanovirus, subterranean cloverstone virus. So under each genus we have many species. In fact, to name, I have only listed one species for each genus. Then for ambisense plus minus, ambisense single-stranded DNA viruses, we have no order, but family is Geminiviridae. We already know these genera: Begomovirus, Cartovirus, Mastri and Topoku virus. Then for double-stranded DNA viruses, we have Colemoviridae family, and of course we have one order name. Genera are Badna virus, Colemovirus, Tumuro virus, and viroids. No order name yet. Family Postviroidae and Afsanviroidae. We have already discussed this classification of viroids in a separate lecture. So with this, the nomenclature and the latest classification of plant virus are described. If you have any query related to this course or this presentation, you can write to me in the comment box. So thank you very much.